laundry,
This is where we live. There's nothing more to it.
Yeah, so
I sleep in here. I get nicely in here. This is where I sleep, like this.
he's got his head stuck in a washing machine, bumped
And then-
18 times.
Toby sleeps under me with a towel over him to keep him warm.
Yeah, sweet. Don't know who the fuck's used like 20 towels, but whatever.
That's an ongoing problem.
Let's go to the front door instead.
Probably would have been better to start at the front door, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, let's go find a place. Actually, let's do a little tour first. So this is the gym. Pretty fucking good.
Good gym.
Right next to the front door. Just do a few pull-ups there. Cushy.
Quite a nice driveway.
Yeah, we've got a little shit little dinger, which isn't here. I don't know where the fuck that is actually, but
Probably a good thing.
shit car anyway. Yeah. Go upstairs or chin it?
Sure. I don't really go upstairs, so
Stand by.
this is the best part of upstairs. Probably your relevant part. And then it's the casino room.
Gambling room.
So when we get drunk on the weekend, we can just rinse each other for money.
Pretty much.
Can't
And
even
then
do it.
he just starts fucking cheating, taking advantage of the drunk.
I would never do that.
He literally does. Because half of us don't know the fucking rules. But anyway, actually, that's a spoiler. We'll come back to this fucking view in a bit. Let's go find some fucking place to film a YouTube video. Sweet. So, little fucking backstory of what this is. Got bored of the UK, especially in February. So, thought fuck that. Let's go move abroad. And yeah, because we fucking can. A lot of you lot still at Tesco's, middle of the day, on a Friday. We're just fucking walking around a fucking massive gaff. Don't really need much more than this. I know people go like Asia to get some massive fuck off villas, but
Fuck Asia, it's a shit ton.
yeah, I don't really fancy some lady boys, so thought bit nicer here, innit? Right, so what's your general fucking chat and shit today? Got a topic?
Yeah, I was going to actually.
Sweet, let's get it out. Yeah, fucking. So, what's the question?
The question, or the topic is, how do you start a 9 to 5? How do you start a 9 to 5? That's retarded. How do you, while you're in your 9 to 5, how do you start a business alongside that? That's the topic.
Yeah, sweet. You might need to move that way a bit to get in the frame. But anyways, most people, that's where they fail. Obviously, they start their side hustle. They are really like energetic and motivated to do it, and they give up pretty quickly. As you probably know, you've probably done it 2 or 3 times before. So how do you balance both of them? Well, most of the time, it is pure just fucking grit. You can't really be a pussy. If you're a pussy and you're going to give up pretty quickly, fall over at the first hurdle, X, Y, Z, then you're not going to get very far. So this is what puts you apart from the others, not being a pussy, because it means you're going to keep working, even though the reward is very low, and therefore get a long-term result out of it.
Yeah, that's
Summary.
kind of the mindset side of things in terms of practicality. I was mentioning to people in the comment section on a recent video, not that that's really relevant, but they're asking, how do you actually, while you're in your 9 to 5, how do you actually find the time, or what does your schedule look like while starting a business? I'll tell you mine very briefly, because I think I've covered this like 3 times on it already, but yeah, whatever. When I first started, I was working, as in when I first started the current business we're in. I started many businesses before and failed. That's kind of irrelevant, but the one that worked is what you want to hear about. So the one that worked, I was working at a supermarket, Waitrose, doing delivery driving. Now, delivery driving is one of the best jobs that you can have in a 9 to 5. 9 to 5, it's not really 9 to 5, but you know what I mean. It's the most standard job that you can have, or you can also work on other things. Reason being is because you're driving about, there's no one watching you, you're working completely by yourself. So you can, go on your phone, do whatever, take phone calls. You can also listen to business podcasts while you're driving about. There's no reason why you should be banging out music all day. It's absolutely fucking pointless. You might as well listen to something practical, something that's going to teach you something. So that's exactly what I was doing. For 8 hours of the day, I would have that job. Be driving about. I'd have loads of free time. I'd more just, skip certain things that other people say you were meant to do. And didn't do those, but there's other stuff that's obviously more important to me. What's really baffling to me is how people value like Tesco's and McDonald's time. Like they try to like respect the system, whereas if McDonald's had a staff cut tomorrow, you'd be the first one to go. Do you know what I mean? They don't care about you. All they care about is your labour. So don't give a fuck about them. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, they can sack you, whatever. Just get a new fucking job. Go if you're working at Waitrose, go to fucking Tesco's if you get sacked. It's not that hard, is it? You still have the same skills as exactly the same job, by the way. But yeah, anyway, I was doing that and coming home from an 8-hour shift and working 10 hours, sometimes 12, on a business. Now that sounds mental to most people, but that's where you really lock in. You know, that's where you can afford to cut down on 4 to 4 hours sleep. You don't need fucking 8 hours sleep, especially for like 18 to 25. Why would you need 8 hours sleep when you're still in a 9 to 5? In your 9 to 5, you do nothing. Let's face it, you do nothing. You should build up your energy in there, almost sleep during that day. Like that's a nice rest day for you. And then come home, start on the business and actually work a decent shift. That's kind of what I was doing. There's no shortcuts. There's no like, oh yeah, I was just in a job, sat behind a laptop and I could pretend I was working but doing this. No, I was actually doing that, learning while I was on the job, you know, listening to podcasts, all this kind of stuff, taking phone calls if I had to, but I would still come home and work 12 hours on a business. There is no shortcuts. So if you're asking for, you know, how you practically shortcut it or how you schedule your time, you don't. You just use every single ounce of time that you have available to work on that business because that's the chance that you have to succeed. There is no shortcuts.
Yeah, so somewhat what Carl said, don't be a pussy, and you'll be good to go. But on that point, coming in to business with someone else to help you out. Now, starting a business, Carl said, 12 hours a day. Most of you aren't going to be able to do that, let's be honest. You haven't got the fucking might. So coming into it with maybe 4 hours a day can also work. You can succeed with that. But if there was 2 of you, then that's technically 8 hours a day. So you kind of see the improvement here. So coming into it with a business partner is always very, very good and is going to help you out in the long run. I talked to Kyle about this and there's no like Kyle's the main dominant one or I'm the main dominant one. We just have separate job roles and we just fucking go all over the place and just get shit done. So don't worry about coming into it and trying to stick to your expertise or whatever. Just get someone else on board and just crack on with what needs doing. Simple as that. And you'll grow together. You'll create each other into better businessmen and then therefore a better business overall. So that is definitely something that you want to look into doing if you can't put in the hours after work.
Yeah, sums that up quite nice.
Sweet.
Cheers for the question, whoever put that.
Yeah. I don't even know if you could see me in that chair.